Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The New York Knicks are on the road in Indiana to take on the Pacers to try to make this series a little bit more interesting as they're currently down 2-0. But before we talk about that and my favorite side or total in this game, of course, we'll have some player props, and we begin first with a recap of how we did yesterday. Another 1-0 day. That's our third straight 1-0 day. Simple, easy, 1-0. We move it. Dante DiVincenzo, the big Ragu's under in points. We trashed him. He made his first 2 3-pointers. The lucky part, those were his only 2 shots. It was such a good read. He got benched for a blowout, and luckily that happened because his minutes got cut short. We love to see that. A little 1-0 day. Let's do that all over again. We also cashed day 1 of the ladder challenge. Pretty sweat-free. Conley got the assist early. Conley got his 3-pointer early, and then we're just fading J-Dub. That was sweat-free to fade J-Dub. Today's J-Dub, Pascal Siakam. We'll probably be fading him again. Yeah. But we'll wait to post day 2 of the ladder challenge till later. But don't be shocked if Mr. Siakam finds his way in there once again. I just don't see him having another big game. We'll save that for that. Let's dive into our favorite picks today. And as always, we wrapped with the video. We talked about an underdog fantasy entry. Today, their free pick is Halliburton's over in points for him to score 1 point. 1 singular point. Again, you only get that free pick using my free my code COS or the link at the top of the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. Again, here are all the states that Underdog is available in. So if it's in your state, what are you waiting on? Sign up, get that free pick, and you can use that link, get that deposit match. Free money, people. Take advantage on a Sunday. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your weekend, but we need to dive into our favorite prop of the day. Try to go for another one in a day. And speaking of Mr. Halliburton, that's my favorite pick. Halliburton over 19.5 points, minus 128 on FanDuel. Now I get it. Most books have his line at 20.5. However, most books do allow you to take a 20-plus points line. Given how sharp these lines are in the playoffs, I'm willing to lay the 20-plus at minus 128, but I am pretty confident he gets you 21 points. I don't think he ends on 20 on the dot. If he does, I apologize in advance if you take the 20.5, but Halliburton's kind of an all-or-nothing guy. So he's either scoring 25 points or he's scoring like 15, and we never stood a chance. But I think this is a matchup. And I'll talk about Halliburton as a whole, but let's talk about the Knicks first. Well, they're coming into this game similar to what the T-Wolves did yesterday. They're coming into this game. We're down 2-0. What we've done in the first 2 games hasn't worked. So what are we going to do here? Are we just going to run back the same thing we've been doing the first 2 games, just pray the shots go our way and the Pacers can't make shots? Probably unlikely. You're going to leave no stone unturned, right? That's a phrase. That's going to be the case from the Knicks today. So don't be shocked if Mitchell Robinson is starting today. Josh Hart moves to the bench. They limit the rotations, bring in some bench guys. They're willing to try anything. That's what the T-Wolves did yesterday. They brought in Terrence Shannon Jr., and he gave them some bounce off the bench. Now, the Knicks don't really have that sort of thing off the bench. Their bench is very shallow, if you will. They don't have a lot of talent down there, like maybe the T-Wolves do with a young guy like Terrence Shannon Jr. They're not bringing in Tyler Kolek. If they do, things probably get nasty in this game, but I still think you'll see a lot more Mitchell Robinson, and they're going to switch up defensive schemes. So why I said Pascal Siakam probably doesn't have a big day, because they ain't letting Pascal Siakam beat them with 2 games in a row. But what I do expect is Tyrese Halliburton to be the guy that they will live with beating them, not via passing the ball. We know Halliburton is a facilitator, and they don't want him to get 12-plus assists. But if we're thinking about the guys that have beat him so far, game 1, it was Aaron Nesmith. Game 2, it was Pascal Siakam. Now, Halliburton had a good game 1, but he wasn't the reason they lost. It was Nesmith going nuclear. You have to limit those role players. You can let the stars like a Halliburton do his job. Pascal Siakam's kind of a borderline star. He's a guy that I would kind of better than a role player, but not as great of a star. But you get what I mean. Either way, we look at Halliburton so far this series. We've seen him score 31 points in game 1. That was a pretty good game for him. He shot 23 times here. And then in this game, only scored 14 points. He shot 16 times. But what I really want to highlight is the volume's been good. 23 and 16 shots here. Well, Halliburton, we know he plays a lot better at home, which you love to see for our over. And when he shoots 15 or more times and he's at home, you look at the numbers and be like, dang, pretty dang good. On the season, he's over in 15 of 18 games when he shoots 15 or more times at home. And as I said, I would bet the Knicks are going to make Halliburton be a scorer, because with Mitchell Robinson playing more, they'll play a lot more of the Mitchell Robinson can't lineup, which they have the size advantage against the Knicks or against the Pacers. They can slow this game down. They have the size advantage. They can get those offensive rebounds, and they can get more shots up than the Pacers. And if you win the offensive glass and win the rebound battle, you're going to win more often than not. I think that's the Knicks' most easy pathway to victory. Slowing this game down and forcing Halliburton to become a scorer. And I think the volume will be there for him. I don't see Siakam having a big day. I think Miles Turner has an okay day. But again, they'll stay home on Nesmith. They'll live with Nembhard if that's the case, beating him. But I really think it's a Halliburton game. where he's going to have to shoot and score to beat them. The Knicks are going to switch everything. They're going to live with him going one-on-one on Mitchell Robinson or Karl-Anthony Towns, but stay home on all the shooters. Stay home on Siakam. Don't let him beat you. Instead, make Halliburton make step-back threes or drive to the hoop, where if he drives and gets past to Mitchell Robinson, we'll potentially have Cat rotating over and covering that ground. So I really think this is a good Halliburton game. At least the volume should be there. We'll see if he makes some shots. I do like Halliburton's over in points as my favorite prop of the day. Now I'm going to dive into my underdog slip. As I talked about before, Halliburton, the free pick. Here's all the states underdog is available in. Here is my underdog slip. I had Siakam less than 24.5 points. I almost made his regular under one of my favorite plays. I'll save that for the ladder challenge. He'll be in there. Unless there's something else that I love even more, we'll be fading him. I do think Mikal Bridges less than 19.5 points is probably a pretty solid play. Bridges just doesn't show up on the road. It's simple as that. He doesn't show up. And so I would be willing to fade him. If he scores 20, you tip the cap, but this is just a guy that's been really bad on the road, and the matchup is all right for him. Mitch Robinson, like I said, I like him. I think the points and rebounds would be great for him. Brunson driving, he'll be a lob threat. Turner's not going to want to give up free layups to Brunson. So I like Robinson to get some extra minutes today. Cat, I like his points and assist line. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And Halliburton, I think he makes 3 threes. He's had the good volume to shoot them. Forgot to look at his 3-point volume. So far this series, he has attempted, how many attempted in game 1? He attempted 12 threes in game 1, 10 in game 2. So again, I think the volume's there. I mean, he shot 4 of 12 and 3 of 10. That's why I think the Knicks are willing to live with it. $10 that turns into 68 or something like that. If you put $20, it turns into like almost 150. So again, sign up, use my code COS. Match your first deposit up to $1,000. Give you that Halliburton free pick. Take advantage of that. Before we dive into my spread pick for this game, let's talk about Trina's pick. She's on Karl-Anthony Towns over 22.5 points in this. Trina got back on the winning track. This is my wife. We don't track it towards the record, but it is tracked on her record. She's 2-3. She's getting a winner here today. I talked about how J-Dubs under was one of my favorite picks yesterday. That smacked. Today she's going Karl-Anthony Towns. If you're just looking from a numbers perspective, Cat's points line is 21.5. His assist line is 1.5. Typically, that would equate to 23.5 points in assists. So getting a good line here at 22.5. Cat also coming off a benching. And I think that he'll play pretty aggressive today. And Mitch Robinson plays more. It's not that Cat has to go to the bench. So they can play that 2-big lineup. You'll get a little bit more facilitating out of a guy like Cat, where he could drive and maybe dish it off to Mitchell Robinson. So I like the upside in both of these categories for Karl-Anthony Towns. I like his over 22.5 points plus assists. See if Trina can go for a second straight winner. I asked her why she doesn't want to do an under, and she said she doesn't like rooting against guys because this is their livelihood. So soft, but that's why Vegas keeps the lights on. Finally, let's talk about my spread pick. And I hate to do this because I am a Knicks fan, but I would lean the Knicks on the money line. Yesterday, I was on OKC, team total under 110.5. That was as sweat-free as it gets. I think the Knicks win here. I hope they do as a Knicks fan. I really do. I don't think it will be a beatdown like we saw yesterday, Timberwolves Thunder. The Pacers are a really good team. Not that the Thunder aren't, but they typically match the energy that other teams pull out. But they did, win the first 2 games on the road in Cleveland. They had a letdown game in game 3 where the Cavs smoked them. That could happen here. Just the Knicks haven't really blown out a lot of teams this year. Outside of that, game 6 win against the Celtics, where it's like they needed to do that. They haven't really blown out a lot of teams. Could they do it here? Yeah, it wouldn't really shock me a ton, but I still would lean the Knicks on the money line here. I think this is a tight game. I think the Knicks pull this one out, keep this series a little bit interesting. The NBA doesn't want a 3-0 series in the Eastern Conference Finals. No chance. Give the Knicks all the calls. But I do like the Knicks on the money line. If I had to bet anything there, we'll try to even up that leans record, which was 6-13 at one point, and we've quietly won 8 of our last 10. We love to see that. Those are my favorite picks. Again, enjoy your Sunday. I'll be sort of rooting on, not for the most extent, rooting on Halliburton to score 20 points. And then hopefully it's a blowout after that in the Knicks win. But either way, that is my favorite pick. That's Trina's pick. That's our slate. Let's have a good Sunday. Let's have another 1-0 day. And there's a good chance if we have another 1-0 day, we'll maybe up it to 2 picks for game 4s. But again, given this a game 3, the Knicks have to win. No stone left unturned. So that might be a little bit weird and lead to some weird schemes and weird game script and stuff like that. And so we'll just stick to Halliburton's points, something I'm pretty confident in. That's our picks. Let's have a day. MLB video is already live. Baby announcement, which again, thank you guys in advance. Thank you guys for all the comments and stuff. You guys have shown so much love and support in the comments and the DMs. I appreciate it. Again, check out the second channel. I appreciate you. Have a great Sunday. See you tomorrow. Peace.